G'day, watch this.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, from the campaign that David was just mentioning, single purpose campaign, I wanted to share with you a little bit about the success that we had in that area. We've established a successful web presence, recognising the fact that primarily young people, but even increasingly with the older people also, they're turning to the internet as a means of firstly acquiring information, but also for entertainment and so on, and spending increasing time there. So of course, if you were trying to get a message to a a 7-year-old child, you're not going to give them a broadsheet newspaper and expect that to be effective communication. So not that we're trying to reach 7-year-old children, but to give you the analogy, of course we need to provide a medium that is effective, and we've found that the internet has been a very useful tool in achieving this. So we've had our primary website, which is for that one issue I point out, and of course CANdo will have a much wider appeal, I think, than a single narrow purpose, and that's 12 million hits a year and 3.5 million page views. So that's a substantial exposure by any standard. 70% of those are coming from Australia. We are seeing as well that there's an increasing number of people in the US who are watching what we're doing in that area as well. Yes, true, the CIA. And we're also having a significant presence in the social media, which on Facebook alone we have 35,000 people following the updates that we put there, and then they're interacting. It's not just a one-way communication. They're engaging in debate, sharing it with their friends and family, and it's having a wider reaching effect again, and that number is constantly growing. They're increasingly young. 50% are under the age of 35, and if you look at the percentage that are under 18, there's a significant number that are also under 18, which means that there is the issues that we are talking about are appealing to all ages. So we've taken that concept, which you can see this picture here from Greece, the ancient democracy, and translating that into an Australian context where we reach out with our views, we're engaging them in the social media with this debate, and then encouraging them, well, now, not only do you talk about it, we want you to take some sort of action about this, and depending upon what the individual campaign is, of course, that action that they should take would vary. But certainly that's our goal, is not only to be a talk fest, let's get out there and actually do something about taking this back. How are we doing that? We're using the social media. As I said, we've also done that with the single purpose campaign. We've translated that experience to CANdo. We've got a strong presence in the social media centred around our campaign hub. And I'll talk a little bit in a moment about our campaign hub, but really the thing that has differentiated what CANdo is doing from some other organisations who are focused in narrow areas is we're bringing together this wide net of people, which, for example, GetUp has used this similar model, but what they haven't done is they don't have a charter of values. So what we've done is we've said, well, we need to have clearly defined principles and values from which we proceed, and I'll come to that in a moment. We're then engaging people and activating them in real life. I wanted to share with you from our charter a particular opening paragraph, which I think really summarises what it is that CANdo stands for, and we've then built on that with our campaigns. What it is that we have is that we share a vision that we want a return to limited government. We say that the government has core duties. That includes our defence, ensuring we have a financial stable system. There's a number of core duties, and we say that beyond that, government is going beyond where it should be. We want to see it return to its core limited functions. We want the governments of Australia to have a proper regard for the rights, the freedoms, and also comes with that the responsibilities of the individual. That there should be a respect for the federal balance. We don't think that the federal government should be intruding into the rights and the responsibilities of the states. That's something that's strongly written into our charter. in a society which respects traditional values. We were and we are a nation founded on traditional values. We inherited that with a number of institutions at settlement in 1788 from the British, and that's something which has continued, and it has been a large contributing factor to the success of our nation. We think that that's integral to our continued success and development, which recognises private property and which encourages free enterprise and competition. We believe that together those things there will ensure that we build a strong Australia. So that's really the foundation from which we're proceeding, and every campaign that CANdo is running builds on this broad, I think, charter, but which has a very, very narrow direction which we stick to entirely. I wanted to show you what the campaign hub is, where we've brought these campaigns under one roof, and I'll talk a little about each campaign very briefly, because we have a number of campaigns that we've put up, and Professor, if I miss any key points, I'm sure that the Professor will add them for me.